What is up, guys? All right, I'm sorry about that, guys. I just had a technical difficulty. Okay, this video is going to be about how much to pay your mobile paint and body tech. All right, I'm going to explain basically how much mobile paint and body technicians get paid in different scenarios that you might come across. Um, hiring somebody, starting off, and anybody that's joining probably know this. I was just on a few minutes ago, and I don't know what happened, guys. I was live and it just froze on me. So I'm sorry if you were stuck in that. Like, it literally froze. So I don't know what happened there. All right. So I want to talk about the different scenarios. Okay. There's 3 scenarios that I can think about. Um, One scenario is you're going to hire a newbie. This guy does not have any experience whatsoever, and you're hiring him just because you need a helper, somebody to help you, or one of your technicians with the workload, and all that. So, um, the second scenario is you're gonna hire a guy from a local brick and mortar body shop. Okay, that is somebody that works in the body shop environment and has never worked outdoors in the mobile paint and body industry. Okay. And then the third scenario is you're going to hire a mobile technician that has already worked with a company in the past doing the mobile paint and body. So they have experience, whether it's a he or she, they know what it's about, what's all involved. So I'm going to switch over to um, the desktop real quick. Oh, wrong screen. And I want to show y'all basically, all right, well, let's just look at the numbers for what a automotive painter makes in a year. Okay. So these are 3 different sites, and each one, they're about the same, guys. 25 to $53,000 per year. Okay. Pay scale says this is per hour, 12.1 all the way up to $29.80 per hour. And then the other one is 25 to 59,000 per year. Okay, that's how much an automotive painter makes. Now, um, that can vary state to state, city to city, um, work experience, skill level, all that. So I'm gonna go just by each scenario. We're gonna start with the first scenario. First scenario is you got a total newbie. All right. This guy is basically somebody that's going to start working with you and you're going to train him. So um let's switch to that real quick. I know when I started, what I was started off at, it was $500 a week. Now this was well over, like, man, 18 years ago, probably more. Um and I had to prove myself. I was basically a helper for another technician, and I did all the grunt work, the sanding, the priming, sanding the primer, all that. But if you're gonna start off a newbie, then um, basically, let's say you start them at $500 a week. Okay, that's 2,000 a month until he proves himself. Oh, that's probably showing up backwards, guys. I don't know if it is. Probably is. Dang it. Hmm. All right. I'm just gonna continue, hoping I might have to edit this in the studio later. But if they're $500 a week, $2,000 a month, that's what you're paying them. Now, it takes generally for a newbie. All right. Every newbie is different, guys. You're gonna have some newbies catch on real quick. You're gonna have other newbies that are gonna be like, it's gonna take a little longer for them to learn how to, you know, spray paint and shoe clear and do body work and all that. It's doable. I've done it before. I've probably trained maybe 11, 12 guys since I've been in the industry. Um, And on average, it takes about, for me, anywhere from 8 months to a year to train them on everything. And this is every day, 5 days a week, to get them up to speed to where they can go out on their own and get an account and be left alone and they're profitable. Now, if they're making $5 a week and they're showing that they can carry their own weight, um, they're gonna be hustling. Okay. Um, you want to let them know that this is only temporary. They're gonna have the knowledge that they can go on commission. Now, if they have the knowledge that they can go on commission, you tell them, hey, when you're ready, you can go and make 35% commission of whatever you bill. Okay. Um, some guys are just like, oh, great, awesome. Some guys are like, man, I want to get on commission ASAP. What do I got to do? And they try to do more and more and hustle. So all the time while they're helping the other technician, they're basically a helper. They're going to see the amount of invoicing that the other technician is billing because, of course, if he's a helper for another technician, that technician is going to put all those cars under his account, his invoicing. And so if that technician, um, let's say the helper's name is Juan. Sorry for all the Juans out there that are listening to this. This is the helper. Okay. John is the experienced technician, and Juan is helping John. So if John normally bills 10K a month by himself, what do you think is going to happen when Juan helps him? All of a sudden, they should be able to at least do 25% more, up to 50% more. So if John is billing 10K a month, he could do very well 12,000 or 15,000 with Juan helping him. Okay. So John's money goes up. Juan is getting the experience. Okay. And if John is making 35%, John is making 35% already. Juan is making 500 a week. The fact that with John's pay scale, payout going up, it's gonna help pay for that $500 a week for Juan because he is knocking out some work and training this guy. So what I'm trying to get to is this, guys. Um, all right. When you have these two guys working together, the numbers go up, and it's gonna take at least just say average a year. Juan is gonna be like, you know what? If I helped John Bill, um, let's just say 17,000. Oops, man, sorry about that, guys. It looks horrible. I know. Okay, let's try it again. Bam, erase. Let's say it's come summertime and Juan and John are knocking out some serious work. And together at several accounts, maybe two accounts, um, they bill 17,000. Okay, John makes 35%. That's 5,950 of this right there. Okay. So let me make sure I got my math right. That's right. Okay. John made 5,950. Now Juan, being that he's getting salary, he 500 a week. That's 4 weeks. Okay. That's 7,950 paid out to the technicians, basically. Okay. Profit 9,050. They made 7,950 combined together, right? The payout. Now, why am I bringing all this up? I'm trying to explain the math of it all, guys, of how it's pretty much structured. Of when I was in the industry, well, I'm still in the industry, but when I was on, starting off as a newbie, because I was getting $500 per week. You might want to pay more. Might want to pay 600 or 700 or whatever, right? And maybe your John that you have that's training the newbie is probably making 40 or 45 or whatever number, right? That's between y'all. But you kind of look at the numbers that way because um a newbie that comes in doesn't really know how the commission pay and all that works. Once they know how it all works and they're able to see that, oh man, if so you're telling me, like Juan's mentality is gonna be like, man, you're telling me that if I bill $10,000 in a month, I get paid 35%. That's $3,500. Sign me up, right? Um, that's the scenario number one. If it takes Juan 6 months, 8 months, or a full year to get up to speed to train, to let him go on and get his own account, um, then he might have to make 500 for the first 6 months or 500 per week for the first 3 months, and y'all negotiate maybe 750 the next 3 months, then maybe 1,000 per week. That varies, guys. You can do that when the newbie comes in, just to keep them constantly learning, constantly evolving, constantly motivated. And of course, if they're ambitious, they're always going to be like, "Man, I want to jump the gun. I'm ready. Let me loose." You know, but they have to prove themselves that they can actually pull their own weight. Now, if Juan and John are pulling $20,000 a month, then you could probably say, hey, they're both making about 10K a month, right? Or if they both make 7K, or once they get to that point, guys, and they are making some serious money, that's when, all right, you separate them. You say, hey, all right, guys, go make a killing. And then you bring the next newbie in or whatever. But you got to have the work there. The work has to be present. As scenario one, I want to go into scenario two. Scenario two is you really just can't find a guy or a newbie or a new guy, right? So you want to hire a guy that's worked at a body shop before. This guy has experience working in that environment, a brick and mortar paint and body shop. Um, their mentality be different. Clock in, clock out. Everything's there for you. You don't have to worry about the elements. Your environment's controlled. Um, in the mobile aspect of it, it's different. If they're not okay with working outside, or there's wind and they're complaining about it, chances are they're not open to the idea of doing the mobile paint and body. But if you talk to a guy and they're like, yeah, well, I've never done it. How hard can it be? I guess I need some training just here and there. How do you do this? If it's windy, or if it's cold, or if it's hot, or if it's humid, I'm okay with it as long as they're open to it, right? Then they need a little bit of training. But you might want to start them off either at a higher salary, right? So let's say they work at the body shop. If they make, let's just say, $850 a week, okay? Now, I say conservatively $850 a week because that's about $21.25 on average per hour. Now, Here it says $12 to $29. All right. Um, if you're paying them 850 dollars a week, that's about $21.25 because they're thinking about the math. You know what? Let's look at $29 per hour at 40 hours a week. It's about 1,100. They might do flag hours. If they do flag hours, let's just say, maybe they probably do 1,500, probably a little bit more. Not every shop is going to be just crazy busy. Either they have a lot of technicians and a lot of work, and it's all dispersed, and so they're trying to keep everybody busy because they're trying to keep the cars and coming in and out as fast as possible. It's rare to find a shop that has a small amount of technicians and like crazy amount of work. It would just take too long to get those cars pushed out, and that's never a good thing. But going back to this scenario, okay, if that technician is making $850 a week, you could offer him $900 a week. Okay, that's $3,600 for the month. Okay, and he says, "Hey, you know what? I'm comfortable making $900 a week." He might say, "I want $1,000 a week." That's $4,000 a month. But what you do is, if you know that it's going to get crazy busy, right? And this guy is going to knock out some work. He's really good. He's always moving, and he's open to the idea of switching over to commission. You explain it to him and let him know, hey, you can also make commission. You can start off at 35% of whatever you bill. And if he says, no, I'm comfortable, I want to make my salary, that's it. Great. Awesome. What's going to happen is come summertime or come, April, May, or whatever, June, he's going to have work. And let's just say in a month, he bills $15,000 for that month. Okay. Well, he wants commission. So he's going to get for that month in, let's just say this is May. Okay. Um, he's going to get, because he's on salary, $3,600 a month. But if he was on 35% commission, he would have made 5,250. Okay. So let me lay this out real quick for you guys. Um, oh, my 5 is really messed up. There we go. All right. So, oh man, my calculator. What is up with my calculator? All right, guys. So this is a scenario. Um, your technician that's perfectly fine with getting paid salary, $850 a week or $900 a week or whatever. He's making 3,600 a month. There's gonna come a month where he's gonna make 12,000, 10,000. He's gonna make 15,000, 16,000, 8,000, 12,000, and it goes up and down, guys. All right. For this scenario here, he made 15,000. If he was at 35%, he would have made $5,250. And he's gonna think about that. All right. He's gonna know the math, guys, and he's gonna be like, dang it, I could have been on salary and had a really good month. And that's gonna make him think about switching over to commission. That's why I say, if they're okay with salary and y'all negotiate a price and you know that you have enough work, X amount of dollars per month between February all the way till August or September, then it starts to slow down. You can factor all this in and kind of have an idea if this guy is coming from a body shop. Okay. Cause this is like totally new to him. He doesn't know too much about the mobile paint and body industry. So you have to educate him and teach him. and pay him fairly. He's gonna make a decent living, provide for his family, and all that. And so, if he does this enough, guys, he's gonna be like, man, I need to get on commission. And he starts at 35%, and he would say, hey, man, you've been killing it this year. You've been hitting 3 months in a row, 15K. I'll tell you what, you hit 3 months in a row, 17K. I'll bump you up to 40%. Or you could say, you make 5 months in a row, you hit 10K. I'll bump you up to 40%. And so that motivates your technician to make a killing. Okay. Now, if you have a team, you can tell them all the same and have them look out for each other to where they're going to be like calling each other. You could have it set up where they support one another. And if one account doesn't have enough work for the day, and technician B calls and says, hey man, I don't have nothing here, what do you got? Technician A can say, hey, I got 10 cars, man. I'm gonna put these 3 or 4 cars aside for you. Come and do them so your numbers can be 10K for the month, and we can all hit that number and bump up our commissions. So you want to motivate them, if that's possible, and have them work as a team. I think it's very important that when you have a company, that everybody works together as a team and look out for one another, because in that they'll take care of the company, and the company will be well off. Now, this is the second scenario, guys. Third scenario is going to be, um, this is somebody that's already worked for the mobile painted body. Okay. They have experience. They work for somebody else, doing the mobile painted body. And so they know that they're going to, right off the bat, they're going to be like, hey, I want 40%, or I want 45%, or I want 35%, or what have you. Okay. You negotiate. You could start them off at a lower commission. You say, hey, I'll start you off at 35% or 30% or whatever. Once I see that you're able to hit, 10K a month, 3 months in a row, you'll get 40% or you'll get 35% or whatever. Okay. But you don't want to always go by what they say they can do. You want them to show you. And so this is the experienced technician. If they start off at 35%, okay, and they have experience, you could tell them, if you hit 15K for three months, or you could do 4 months in a row for the year. It could be any 4 months, or it can be, you could tell them back to back. It's almost very hard, guys, to do back to back. But when there is work, it could be in May, and it could be slow in April, and it can be busy in June, busy in July, slow in August, uh, busy in September. If you tell them, if you hit 4 months in a year and you hit 15K, I will bump you up to 40%. That'll keep them motivated. You want them to be able to feel like there's progress. They can move up the ladder. They can make more money. They're not just thinking like, oh man, you just want to keep the profits for yourself. Have them look out for you. That was done to me. Somebody was generous enough to me to get me to 50%. And in my past experience, when I worked for another company in Austin, I got to 50%. So in my mind, I think about, what company out there will pay 50% of what you bill? The owner was paying for the gas, the consumables, the equipment, the maintenance of the van, the gas of the van, the paint. He was paying for everything. All I provided was a service, and I was getting 50%. And I said, man, I'm never going to ask for more than 50%. That's fair enough for me. And I was content with that. And some guys, they might say, hey, 50% is not good enough. Let me branch off and start my own company. I want 100%. But he's going to have to come back to, when he gets his own guys and trains them and gets them going, he's going to have to factor all that in. But this is pretty much the 3 scenarios, guys, This is the experienced technician that comes and offers 35%. If I have an experienced technician that comes over to me and says, "Hey, yeah, man, I've been doing this for 12 years, 15 years. I want 50%." Um, I'm gonna be like, "Man, you got to prove yourself. You know, you got to walk the talk. I don't care how good they are, um, or where they come from. Everybody has to pull their own weight, and nothing is easy in life, guys. So I think starting them off and then having this as a guideline, you kind of know how much they bill a month, and then kind of move them up that way. So I'm gonna go back to the scenarios. Scenario one is you have a newbie, a guy that you're gonna bring in and train. Then you have a guy that's coming from a body shop environment that basically works at a brick and mortar, has never worked in the mold paint and body industry. The third scenario is you have a mobile technician that has already worked for somebody else. Okay, three scenarios there. I do want to go into a little bit more detail. I want to make this a 30-minute video. I want to go into a little bit more detail as far as the newbie. Okay, so if you're going to get a newbie, guys, and you're like, well, man, how do I know I'm going to have enough to pay him, or how do I work that out? This and that. All right, guys, very simple. Let's say you work for yourself, you're your own boss, you're out doing the work. If you, the owner, or let's just say you don't even work, you have one guy working for you already. Okay. Your technician is already, let's just say he's making 10K a month. All right. On the busy months. Um, that's what he bills from his accounts. Okay. This technician's name is, let's just say technician's name is John. Okay. Um, the newbie that you're going to hire to help John, because you want John to train Juan. This is the the newbie guy. Let's say that the newbie guy's name is Juan. All right. Um, okay, let's go back to this one. Okay, Juan, you're gonna pay him, let's just say $500 a week. Okay. John is at 35%. Okay. That's what John's getting paid. So John is making 3,500 a month. Okay. And Juan, you got to pay him 2,000 a month. That's $5,500 combined. Now, if Juan is basically really good at what he does and he's a quick learner, 6 months into training with John, he's proving himself. He can sand primer, he can spray primer, he can wet sand and buff. And John is just spraying and knocking out these cars and doing the body work, and Juan is doing everything else. Okay. These guys combined together should easily be able to pull in $15,000 to $20,000 a month. The 20,000 is more towards closer to the end of the year once Juan is like fully trained and there. But in the beginning, if John normally makes 10 grand on a busy month, he should be able to make anywhere from 12,000 to 15,000 with Juan's help. And this is just grinding, hustling. Um, and so the company itself, if you're paying out 5,500 on a month where they're making $10,000 a month, which John can already do by himself, all right, you're going to be in a positive. Okay. And so there will be months that together they will be able to bill $15,000. Okay. Now let's look at that scenario. They bill $15,000 combined, John and Juan. Okay. Well, you're going to pay John 35% of that 15,000. Okay. So John makes 5,250. Right. So John has his own invoices. John is going to write every invoice to that dealership or several dealerships. and the total is 15,000. 35% of that's 5,250. Juan is on salary. He's getting 2,000 for the month. Okay. Together, what they take home is 7,250. Okay. Now, for the company owner, if they bill 15,000, you paid them 7,250. The company should make 7,750. Okay. This is John's pay. This is Juan's pay. And this is profit for the company. Okay. Now you think, oh, okay, well, yeah, what about the consumables and all that? The paint, blah, 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 all that. On average, guys, just out of my experience, the paint, consumables, and all that can range anywhere from like 7% all the way to 15, 17%. If you are in the 20%, let's say you're spending out of $15,000, you're spending 20% on materials or more, something is wrong there, guys. You could be using higher expensive products. Best of the best. You might have to look at going down a tier or going down changing brands. There's a lot of things that you could do to help save money. Okay. But you want to have quality materials that will hold up 10 years plus, that can back your warranty. Of course, the workmanship and everything has to be there. But if you're spending more than 20%, you have to look into something. Something's not right on materials. So that is just the scenarios, guys, for paying your mobile paint and body technicians. You have the newbie, the guy that's coming from a body shop, and then you have a guy that's already worked before for another company as a mobile paint and body tech. And these are just ways to look at it on how to pay them, how to keep them motivated, how to work out and negotiate deals with them. With that being said, if you guys have any other questions or anything y'all want me to cover as far as this video, I know one of you, the subscribers on this channel, asked that question. I believe it was out in San Antonio. And I will basically comment out to that subscriber. I got to look for who it was. But if y'all have any other questions for me, just put them in the comment sections below, and I will try to get back to y'all. Possibly make another video another day. So thanks a lot, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video because that helps the channel grow. And thanks a lot for everything, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.